Hey everybody, good morning and good afternoon. My name is Dana. Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about deodorant and antiperspirants. You can see right here I have an amazing deodorant that I love to use. It smells great and it's very earth friendly and natural. I'll talk about that in a little bit. What else I'd like to speak to you about is the process of sweating, the channels of sweating, the benefits of sweating, and how to maybe understand if you have an imbalance in the channels of the sweat. And so all of this is sort of understood through the process of and philosophy of Ayurveda, Indian holistic medicine. So first thing, what is an antiperspirant? Antiperspirants are created to prevent sweat from happening. So usually they contain aluminum or zirconium or some other chemical that prevents sweating. Okay, the natural release of water through that hydration channel. Deodorants contain fragrances, sometimes essential oils, sometimes laboratory created fragrances that just improve the natural scent and smell on top of your body. Sometimes we can have also an antiperspirant and a deodorant combined together. And you can find those on the shelves. So some antiperspirants also will contain elements that prevent bacterial growth underneath the arms. So as you might know, we have lots of bacteria within our systems that are doing great things for us, and we also have bacteria on our skin, different parts of the body. So let's talk a little bit about the process of sweating. The human body is created very efficiently. So a lot of the actions and processes within the human body are necessary to create balance, to create harmony, and all of these processes are necessary. And sweating is the release of water. Also, there are things within the water in this hydration channel, such as salts, fats, and proteins. But it's a natural process. Everybody sweats. The sweating process helps to cool the system, helps to release some of the internal heat that could be built up from exercise or activity. And this process of releasing water onto the skin through the pores also naturally moisturizes the skin. So it creates a supple, moisturized skin. In Ayurveda, sweat is called sveda. And the channels of this process, of the sweating process, are hydration channels, and those are called sveda vahashrotas. The amount of sweating in people differs. So some people will have more frequency of sweating, more quantity of sweating, and some people will have less frequency of sweating and less quantity of sweating. And that is determined by our unique systems and the elements that are within our system. The fire element, pitta dosha, fire element, is going to create more heat in the system. Thus, usually people who have more pitta energy or fire energy, which is determined at birth, your natural prakriti, your natural energy, if you have more fire, then generally you're going to be sweating a little bit more than others, and that frequency or that quantity may be a little bit more than somebody who has more wind energy or more earth and water energy. Another thing to keep in mind with sweating and fire energy is that there are stages of life where there may be more sweating that's happening due to hormones. Okay, so pitta stage of life, according to Ayurveda, generally begins during the teenage years. Okay, so that's when kids start to sweat, and the pitta stage of life can last until 45, 50, 55, 60 in both males and females. And for women who are going through that natural stage of life called menopause, the fire element may be more present. So pitta energy may be more present for some, and therefore heat will build up in the system, and hot flashes can be possible. So the frequency, duration, and quantity of sweating can increase during that time of life. Some factors that increase the amount of sweat that is produced within the system. One, super easy, exercise, okay? Movement energy, exercise will create more heat within the system and therefore needs to be released through the sweat channels. Second thing, sun exposure. So outside or external heat exposure, sitting out in the sunshine will produce heat in the system. So external things affect the internal body. So sun exposure, please limit your sun exposure, especially if you have more fire energy. Spicy, hot, pungent, heat increasing foods will increase sweating. It will increase fire energy within your system. And then a little bit understanding of the nervous system energy. So we have two systems of nervous system energy, parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system energy. Whenever we are posed with a situation that can be challenging, that creates emotions of fear, anxiety, anger, or frustration, all those things can increase the amount of sweat that is happening within the body, right? Because the sympathetic nervous system can be turned on. So when the sympathetic nervous system turns on, the heart rate increases, adrenaline is put into the system, blood glucose levels elevate, and all of this is designed to allow for a human to be able to avoid danger. So your sympathetic nervous system is a wonderful tool for survival. And when it is turned on, there is more heat in the system, which allows for the body to stay warm and have clarity. Okay, so a clarity and an ability to use the natural intelligence within the system happens. And so all of this is survival technique. So body will be more elevated in heat whenever sympathetic nervous system is turned on. Now, when people are faced with a lot of daily stressful situations, their sympathetic nervous system is going to be constantly in flux, and the parasympathetic nervous system is designed in order to help stabilize the body, help calm the body, help repair the body after such stressful situations are occurring. So you can imagine if the sympathetic nervous system is always turned on, there's always heat that's produced, there's always adrenaline going through the system, that this is not a good thing. You really do want to have a balance between the two and allow time between the two and have less threatening and stressful situations in your life. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the signs of imbalance in sweating. Now, I think a lot of us are already using so much antiperspirant and deodorant, we never really tuned in to our body's natural process of sweating, the frequency, the amount, even the natural odor that happens. So this is something that you can definitely do. Like, start to become a little bit more aware, start to take time for yourself to naturally sweat. So maybe on the weekends you're not using deodorant or antiperspirant if you have, a job that requires you to be in social situations. So let's look at sweating and understanding our own system and what's natural, what's not natural, or what's balanced and what's imbalanced. So increased sweating, lots of frequency of sweating. Increased sweating in terms of quantity, so lots and more water coming out of the sweat channels. Both of these things can be observed. Like, you can one day just understand your natural sweat, and then due to imbalances that are happening through choice of foods, choice of activities, over time the sweat process may change. So only if you're aware of your own natural tendencies are you able to really measure these things. The increasing of sweat or increasing of heat, pitta, fire energy within the body, can create fungal infections. It can create the growth of fungus. Fungus loves nice hot and moist environments, like if you go to the sauna. Okay, it's like the prone spot for fungus to increase, or maybe fungal infections to happen. Okay, so heat energy is always involved with fungus. Another thing that's really important to understand is the difference between sweat that smells funky and sweat that smells foul. Okay, so that's available for you to understand only if you're able to naturally go without antiperspirants or deodorants and understand your own natural smell of sweat. Foul smelling sweat means that there's an internal imbalance within your system. We shouldn't naturally be smelling very unpleasant to ourselves. And so one first thing that you could do if this is something that is happening for you is to eat cleaner, okay? Eat cleaner foods, drink more water, eat less meats, okay? So there's been studies that show that people who have more plant-based diet and eat less meats are going to have cleaner smelling sweat. And the other sign of the other sign of an imbalance in sweating is the decrease in the amount of sweat. So if there's a time where the sweating is happening a lot less, you know, that could also mean that there's something that's going on within the system that's imbalanced. Okay, so very little quantity. Why is it important to place organic, earth-based products on the skin? Okay, well, this is because your skin receives anything that is put on it, okay? Skin has openings, pores, and so anything topically that you put onto your skin will go into your system. So please take a little evaluation of all the different products that you're putting onto your body, okay? Deodorants, antiperspirants, lotions, oils, makeup, all this stuff is going into your skin, okay? Evaluate for yourself and recognize whether the products that you're using are containing chemicals, things you cannot produce, you have no idea what they are, where they came from, if they were made in a lab, or if they're from the earth, okay? Secondly, noting the quality of the products within the product that you're buying is so important. So is it organic? Is it coming from a company that believes in creating earth-based products? Is it an eco-friendly product? Is it coming from a company that's doing great things for the earth, that's giving back to the earth? Okay, these are things that you definitely want to take a look at. So today, go ahead and start to read your ingredients on your products, throw it out, and start fresh. Okay, this is a great brand. I love it. You can buy it at Whole Foods. It's got coconut oil as its base, and then it has different essential oils and a little bit baking soda in it. It's awesome. This is another one that I really like. Okay, I think I got it at Whole Foods, but I'm not sure. So you can take a look at that one. And then all you ladies who are using things like this, antiperspirants, deodorants, throw them out, okay? Anything that's got chemical, throw it out. You don't need it. It's not good for you. It's going into your skin. It's going into your system. Okay, now that we've spoken a little bit about deodorants and antiperspirants, the process of sweating, how to understand whether or not there could be an imbalance in your sweat or an imbalance in your sweat channels, I'd like to talk a little bit about something that you can do to tune in a little bit more to your body's natural process of sweating. And it's done over the summertime, so what better way for you to go without the use of antiperspirants and deodorants than in the summertime, because naturally you're going to sweat a little bit more in the summer because of the fire element, the sun. Sun's a lot stronger in the summer. Okay, so what you can do is pick a week. Okay, usually that week is great if you go camping, right? Because a lot of people go camping during the summer, but pick a week where you're not going to be using antiperspirants or deodorants. Or if you're super used to using antiperspirants, go and use just deodorant on the body. And just be aware and conscious of what's happening with your system. eat a plant-based diet, okay? So no meats, no dairy products. These are all going to be a little bit heavier on the system. So clean eating, clean sweat. Use of essential oils is also great too. So if you do want some natural fragrant odor on the body, you can use essential oils to help, you know, create that essence for you. So dabbing some essential oils underneath your areas where you're sweating more, that could be the armpits, that could be back of the ears, back of the neck, that could be right on the crown chakra, because then it gets in the hair, and so you have like this nice wafty smell with you for the day. So I used to always put geranium, a couple drops in my hand and my fingers, and a little geranium right on the crown chakra. It's really balancing and calming and relaxing. So, you know, pick a time during the summer where you can kind of do your own detox from using antiperspirants and deodorants, and trust me, like, you'll feel so much better and get rid of all those terrible chemical antiperspirants that are not doing you any good. Okay, maybe in social situations, but you know what? Someone's gonna love you no matter what you smell like.